Welcome back to another episode of Road to William. I'm your host, Will. We're about to get right into it and review uh, Mazey Day, episode from Black Mirror. I was on my Black Mirror kick one day. I was like, you know what? Let me just watch, a few episodes of the latest Black Mirror, which looking back on reviews and when it came out, it's actually been a few years. So I'm like, oh, I'm really, really late. I'm gonna do this Black Mirror series where it's just strictly about Black Mirror episodes. The next one I want to do, um, I got two in mind. So just be on the lookout for a few more Black Mirror episodes. Let's just start from the beginning, shall we? So we have Bo. Bo is a photographer, and it starts off. Oh, it's going to be spoilers. So this is for people who've seen it already, and they want to hear another person's take on it. So that's that. So if you, and then this is also for people who are like, I'm okay. I just want to see what's going on here. Maybe I'll watch it and get my own perspective. It's also for those people. But if somebody's like, oh, I've been wanting to watch this, I don't know if you, I don't know. Maybe don't click, wait, watch it first, then come back. Okay, so we're starting off with Bo. Um, she's a photographer, really a paparazzi photographer. That's very, we got to get that out. She's not just a regular photographer. She's paparazzi, okay? And it's giving Lady Gaga, okay? It's giving Lady Gaga because they're giving you the perspective of a paparazzi person in the photography realm. They're giving you that perspective on it. Um, so starts off, Bo's in her car, she's taking flicks, she's trying to be discreet about it. To be honest, she's not really that good at it. Um, like if you're gonna be paparazzi, you gotta be like really in the cut. I don't know. I just know if you're really trying to get these celebrities be in the cut, at least. I mean, she's wide out and open in the parking lot of a hotel, a motel, and it's bright as day. They're in Cali, of course, right? And she's eating her lunch, she's multitasking, and it's just like, what's going on, right? And it's some celebrity actor or whatnot, and she's there because I forgot his name, but she has this like boss who like gives her um, details on where a celebrity is going to be, and this is what you should be looking out for. So this actor was, the actor was gay, and so they're trying to catch him in like the most gay act they can, right? Just to prove he's gay and put it all over the blogs and magazines and all that. So she's in there. The actor, he comes out, he realizes it's paparazzi. He's like trying to bargain with her, like, hey, can you just please, I'll pay you whatever. Like, I'll offer you $500, I believe he offered her. Like, just don't let me have those photos. Like, can you delete them? Blah, blah, blah. And because he comes out, it's with another guy, and she's snapping photos. She sees her. He comes, he's pleading, please, 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 gonna ruin my rep, all that. She drives off. She's like, oh my gosh, I gotta get out of here. She goes back to the boss who like gave her the orders of like not the orders, but like the tip, like where to go. And she's like, okay, how much am I getting for this photo after she gives him the photos? And he's like 300 or something. Like, no, I think it was even lower than 300. It was like 200 or something. And she was like, he offered me five. And so he was like, fine, 350 or whatever. So she took $350. Um, she goes home. You realize quickly she doesn't live alone. She has a roommate, and her roommate is like doing the best that he can to like let her know, like, okay, can you not cook this? I don't like the way that smells and make the house smells. And then can you not do this? Can you not do that? Eventually he's like, where's the money? I mean, he went through a whole thing of telling her like with cue cards, like that his therapist told him to do, like, hey, can you basically pay the rent? And she was like, I'll get you the money, right? So she's in a bind. She needs to find out how to pay her rent. She's only getting paid chump change to shoot celebrities, and exposed, right? So she's not making really any money. Oh, importantly, she stopped taking jobs doing the paparazzi thing because the same guy who he was begging and pleading her not to take, like, leak those photos, she did it anyways. He ended up, committing the act. You know what I mean? He ended up, taking his own life, and she felt so terrible about it. Like, oh my gosh, like, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't. Da, da, da. She's questioning her own morals at this point. Okay? So let's fast forward. She needs to figure out how to pay rent, right? And I mean, the person went out and had cue cards. Like, who just has those cards around? I haven't bought those since I was in, like, grade school, right? Anyway, she's trying to figure out how to pay rent. She ends up just going with her crew, her paparazzi friends, and, well, really, she just has one friend, and she has this friend, and there's two other paparazzi people that are in the loop where you're like, okay, I have to pay attention to them too. And the paparazzi are on her, bah, 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 shooting her. It's like 50 of them shooting this one person, trying to get a perfect shot of whatever. So they're all in her face. She looks stressed. She's scared. She's just like, no one's, I mean, I don't even know if she had a bodyguard, because if she did, that bodyguard wasn't doing anything to help the situation. And so it's literally people in her face, snapping photos, bright lights, blah, blah, blah. A Lady Gaga video, I just told you, right? And so at that point, Bo is like, oh my gosh, like, look at these people. She's not even taking photos at this point. She's just like looking at everybody else around her, like, oh wow, what are we doing? Like, really, what are we doing? Like, we're just harassing them with cameras. Then they take us to Mazey Day. Right? Mazey doesn't start off like this, right? She's chill. She's an actress. I don't believe she's in the US. It might be the UK or something, right? So she's not in the US at the, maybe she is. I don't know, y'all. I just got the feeling she wasn't in the US. And she's shooting this movie. She seems like kind of bored with it, but she's just playing along, and she's, I don't know, playing her part, being an actress. At the end of her shoot, this person gives her a jacket, and she's like, somebody gave you a gift in there. It's shrooms. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And so she goes home, or to the rented place or whatnot, and she takes the shrooms. She's trying to get into her character, trying to, like, spark some inspiration, right? And so she's in this house, lit, and I've never done shrooms, but I've done a little bit of research on it. I've watched some documentaries on it. And the number one, if you're doing any psychedelic drug, the number one is don't drive. What do you do? That's for anything you're doing, right? Don't go outside and drive. Now, some people do shrooms out in the forest, and it's different experience. That's fine. But one, you're not even in your homeland. Two, like, you're not even at your house. And three, like, what made you? Oh yeah, this is what happened. Something, she, like, broke glass and picked it up, cut herself, and she was like, because she's not at her home, she has to, like, figure out, okay, I gotta go get a Band-Aid, wrap this up.
Yeah.
She could have just, I don't know, it could have been several steps. Maybe go to the bathroom, see if there's a first aid kit somewhere in the house. I don't know. There was other steps she could have done. She could have, I don't know. I don't know if they do this outside the US, but get it delivered. Oh, like, what are we doing? So she decides, I gotta get a band-aid. Let me go out to the convenience store. I don't even think she makes it because she's driving, she's off them shrooms, right? And she's just lollygagging in the car. Boom! She hits him. It's raining like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, right? And so she's terrified. And from the shot we get at first, it doesn't look like she really looks. They give us the same shot of as in did you guys ever see that series 7 seconds with the wonderful Regina King? Okay. And remember that scene? I should do a review on that. I'm gonna have my cousin, I'm gonna see if my cousin wanna do a review on that. But it's a scene in 7 seconds where they don't at first show you that the cop saw the kid. They just made it seem like, oh, maybe he never saw the kid that he hit. He just saw maybe a bike or something, right? And he left the scene. This is it. Same thing happens here, but she did see the body, just like in 7 seconds. He saw the body too. She's terrified of what she saw. At this point, we're thinking, okay, it's a body, right? And she drives back. I don't know how she suddenly can drive back to the crib perfectly fine, but she's not herself. And Bo, we go back to Bo. She realized I gotta make some type of money, right? And her friends are in the same boat. Really, like everybody's trying to make $1, right? But she's looking at it more like, no, we should be respecting people, privacy, and all that. After her whole little fiasco of the actor doing that, so she's kind of laid off. But when she realizes I need to make this bread, she, calls her friend back, her boss back, like, hey, do you got any tips? He was like, I thought you weren't even doing this anymore. And then she was like, well, I need the money. And so he's like, okay. They're trying to find where she is. No one knows where Mazey Day is. I guess she's like this big actress in the universe of Black Mirror, right? At this point. And so everyone's looking for her. No one knows where she is. Ever since she hit that person, she's been stressed. And they go back and forth of like Bo and Mazey Day. And Mazey Day, as Bo is looking for Mazey Day, they go back to Mazey, and there's some doctor that you know comes to the house and tries to give her what, I don't know what he's giving her. He's giving her all sorts of random medication, right? And it's crazy because the only reason Bo found out where Mazey Day was because a delivery driver who dropped some food off at the this like different mansion. It turned out to be like a movie producer's mansion or whatever. She kind of saw like Mazey Day in the cut, like, oh, that's where Mazey Day is here. Like, blah, blah. She's back in the US, blah, blah. So, and the housekeeper, she's doing a really good job of like kind of like, okay, yeah, thanks for the food, shutting the door, not letting really anybody in. But then she comes to the house to clean up the next day and realizes Mazey done broke everything in the house. It looks insane. Like she calls the movie director or whoever he's supposed to be, the doctor. He comes to the house. He's like, okay. One, I thought he was gonna be pissed because it's like, you just broke all my stuff. Like, what are you doing? But he's understanding, which is very important to note that Mazey broke a lot of expensive stuff in his house, in his mansion. He was the calmest of calm. He came in, everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna take care of everything. She's like, can you fix me? Can you help me? So he's like, how about this? Come with me. We're gonna take you to a different area, get you some help, right? So the delivery driver is at this like random ice cream spot because Macy Day is on. Now she's like really doing her job and like researching these celebrities and how to find Macy Day. She's going through articles of when Macy Day would do interviews, and she found a magazine where in the interview it said like where her favorite ice cream spot was. So Macy Day, I mean, so Bo goes there, right? She's like, where is Maisie? Like, this is her favorite spot. Where is she? Everybody's like, we don't know where she is. Delivery driver just so happens to be there, and it's like, I know where she is. She's over at the producer's house. Boom, tip, boom. She goes, and that was interesting to me because all of the paparazzi are doing everything for this dollar, right? Yeah, you guys can be like, oh, come on, it's more than $1, but let's just keep it a buck. They're out here just trying to make $1. This delivery driver didn't ask for no money. She didn't ask for no accolade, nothing. She was just like, oh, she up the street. That goes to show, like, some people don't people don't care about others sometimes. They're just like, you don't know why she's looking for her. She could be a psychopath looking for her, and you just gave her the address. Some people, it just goes to show like no one really cares about the celebrities. They don't care about anybody at the end of the day, right? But I just thought it was funny that she gave her info for free, and Bo's boss basically like he gonna get a cut out of whatever she makes. So yeah, he gonna tell her where she at because he gonna make some of that bread. He ain't gotta be in the field. He just gotta tell him where to go. But I just thought it was funny that like this person sitting at the ice cream shop just so happened to be there earlier and was like, oh, she up the street. I'm like, bro. So Bo is kicking it out in the cut. She's a little bit more in the cut. She's learning, right? Whatever. And she realizes, okay, it's a car coming out of the driveway. Maybe that's Mazey. I gotta follow, right? She's not good at this, y'all. I'm telling you this, and that's important because eventually she's like up on them. She's up like behind them driving. She's not even like a few cars back, nothing. And they're going to a secluded place, and she's right up behind them. So they turn into this diner. And of course, Bo turns into, but parks a little bit further away from them. The driver gets out of the vehicle, comes up to Bo's car, put holes in all 4 tires, and walks off. And she's like, "Hey, what the?" And it's just like, really, you were following us? Like, what do you mean? Don't. So Bo's pissed. She's stranded, and now she's at this random diner, and Mazey's car drives off. Right? Mazey's in the car because at some point she rolls her back window down. And it's funny that she does that. I don't know if anyone caught, but like she keeps rolling her window down every once in a while. Like she's done it like a few times. And it's just like, we get it. Celebrities want to be hidden, but sometimes they need that fresh air. They want a breeze. Like she can't do that, right? Mazey's too big, right? To be just having fresh air in the car. No, it's AC. It's going to blow. Okay. So we're trying to hide you. Stop rolling the window down, right? She gets out of there. We don't know where to go, right? Bo's at this diner. Like, might as well get something to eat. She sits in this diner. The person that works at the diner was, sees she's a little stressed or whatever. He's trying to talk to her, vibe with her, see what's up. And she's just like, trying to find a place to stay for the night. She's like, I got a flat. Like, where can I stay for the night? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, it's not really much around here. It's just really like a rehab place up the road and some other random blah, blah. She was like, rehab? He was like, yeah, and she was like, maybe I'll just stay there, right? Like, because she needs a place to stay. And he's like, oh. he was like, you wouldn't want to stay there anyways because it's for like high profile celebs, and even if you could swing it, like it couldn't be this weekend because some celebrity like booked it out, so no one else is there to rehab, just that person. And so that's intriguing, but a little bit more like, wait a minute, someone just bought out this whole rehab place in the middle of nowhere. What is going on, right? And and the only reason the diner person knows is because he has a friend or a family friend that works there, and he's off too. Like everybody's off. Nobody's supposed to be there. So Bo's like, that must be Mason, right? And so she's like, okay. She calls up one of her homies, her A1 day one paparazzi friend, just him though. And he pulls up on his bike, and he's like, all right, like she don't even tell him what's happening. She's like, just go this way. I'm gonna let you know. They drive up, pull up. She's like, okay, this is where Mazey Day is, right? And oh, the important thing to note, the big payout is, oh, oh man, that's a dang. The most important thing I was trying to say was the payout. Because at first I was gonna say 10 grand, but it was like way more than that. It was like it could have been like 100K. Like it was a lot of money, right? And they're like, "Ooh, if we get this shot, we get paid." So it might have been like 10K. It could have been like 10K. Now that all at once for a paparazzi who was just getting 350, she's like, "This is payday, right?" But I think the stakes go up. So don't quote me on that, but it's a big payout. So they're geeked now. They're like, okay, this rehab, we got to figure out how to get in there. Soon as they even trying to come up with a plan, two more paparazzi people pull up. And it's the ones they can't stand. They're like dickheads. They don't care. The morals, they've been past that. That's done. Like they don't care about that. They just need that money. They like it's about at this point, it's more than 10K. I'm telling y'all, it's a lot of money. So they're like, okay, we gotta get this money, right? Um, so they find a way to go in. Oh, and the reason the paparazzi people found out where they were is because they put a tracking device in the other paparazzi dude's bike. That's how they found him. And I'm like, dang, they're going to big lengths for this one photo they need, right? Because it's a big payout. That's why I'm like, I'm thinking it's 100K, but I don't know. It's enough for somebody to go nuts. Right? They all crawl under this gate. They get in there. They're hiding out. It's dark at this. It's nighttime, and you see the same producer leaving the place. Like he's talking to Mazey, like, oh, everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna get you situated, blah blah. So he's leaving out, and so they're taking photos in the cut. Everybody besides Bo is a little bit better because they've been in. They know how to like be in the cut without being seen. And so they're starting to take photos. They're like, oh my gosh, like she must be desperate if she called this man because he's not even a real doctor. He's just like a celebrity doctor that people go to for help. Like, I'm like, okay, he's not a real doctor. We get it at this point. He leaves him, the guards leave too. Like she's left alone. So they sneak up in there. She's up in this high tower. They find out, oh no. And so basically they go up there, they're looking inside. I think they're trying to get photos, and through the vents, they're like, oh, she's laying in the bed. They're trying to shoot, they're going to major lengths to like get this photo. And so um I think it was a million a shot, y'all. I know y'all probably like, dude, what is the price? It was a lot of money, right? So eventually someone is able to get in the door, right? And Bo is like immediately her morals is kicking in again. And Maisie Day is in the bed, chained up. she's chained from her neck, she's chained to her feet, her arms, she can't move, right? And immediately the other three are taking photos. And it's waking her up. She was asleep, dosed off whatever medicine the producer gave her. And she's like, stop. Oh no, please, no, no, no. And she's like out of it. And Bo is like, you guys, quit. You know what I mean? Like, you got your photo at this point. She's not even taking photos. She put her camera down. Like, she's trying to get her out of this, right? So she's taking this photo. I mean, so they're taking photos. She's taking these chains off her neck. Like, oh no, you can't. This is not ethical. Like, why are they doing this to you? This is terrible. You shouldn't be treated like this. The other guys are not caring, right? And then she's like, Mazey's trying to tell them, you guys gotta leave. You're not supposed to be here. You gotta go. You gotta go. I'm like, what? What's going on? You want to be chained up? Like, what's going on? And she's like, you guys, for real, please, you gotta go. All of a sudden, we start seeing the moon. I'm like, oh, and then all of a sudden, and now time is in play. Now it's about to be midnight. I'm like, what? Like, and I'm just like, what's in the thriller is happening? She all of a sudden it hits midnight. Her hands turn into wolf paws, like everything's she's turning into a wolf. She turns into this. Okay. This is Mazey Day. Okay, at midnight. And I was like, dude, y'all need to get up out of there. They're watching the transformation. They're still taking photos. At this point, Bo is like, we got to get out of here. Bo and her friend, I forgot his name, with the bike, he was like, yeah, let's go. Right. So they dip out because soon as the chain snap off from her turning into a wolf, she starts attacking like the other paparazzi. I'm like, as you should, because she warned you, right? And so Bo, her friend, they dip. And they get on his bike, they get the out of there. And it's funny because one of the dickheads who is like tracking them and talking crap, didn't care about, Mazey Day or any celebrity. He was trying to get up under the gate from where they went through the first time, and he had his camera. He's trying to beg them for help. Help me, help me. Dude, they grab his camera and they go. They're like, yep, more money for us. So at this point, the stakes are higher because we got more photos of the person. You know what I'm saying? We got more. It's a whole nother thing. It's not just a celebrity, getting caught coming out the motel or doing drugs, right? It's like, no, this must turn into werewolves, right? That's $1 million at that point. Right? So they get on the bike, they go back to the diner. And they're trying to like warn people, like, we gotta get up out of here, right? So as they're going back, Mazey's like ripping apart the other two paparazzi. And back at the diner, it's a sheriff talking to the same, guy at the diner who works there. And he's like, just talking about whatever. Like, yeah, I want some food. He's just eating. He's like, yeah, that was some good food. I want some of that cake. So he's more focused on food. He had a long day. He's a sheriff. He's tired. He just want to relax. He's off his guard, literally. Bo and them come sprinting in there, and they're like, oh my gosh, we need to get help quick. As they're like looking at the sheriff, we need help. We need more help. This ain't enough. And the sheriff's like, just calm down, everybody. What's going on? And I hate that every sheriff is like that in a movie. It's like, why are y'all so chill? Bo and them are hiding like under the seats and stuff. And they're like, no, y'all need to hide. Boom, in comes Mazey Day, the werewolf, full form, busts through the glass windows, eats a random person at the diner, then eats some more people. And the sheriff is trying to shoot at Mazey Day, but he misses, and then like ends up the bullet, I think, ricochets and hits the person who works at the diner. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? The sheriff gets eaten. Everybody's getting eaten, right? Okay. And you're just like, how could it get worse? It gets worse. And Bo's friend gets eaten, and his last lively breath he has, he's giving her his camera lights. So at this point, she's a millionaire, right? Because Bo has all these cameras, all these images. It's up to her to stay alive to get it back to her boss, right? So, I think I forgot who ends up shooting Mazey, but it's either Mo. It was either Bo or the sheriff, and he actually got her or whatever. It was one of them. So at this point, this is toward the end. What on the beat? What on the beat? What on the And we're going to explain this. We're going to wrap it up. At this point, she's no longer a wolf. She's back in her human form. And the last, she's like dying. Okay, guys, she's like on the ground. Her life is clinging. Bo walks up to her slowly with her camera and the gun. Mazey is like, shoot me, right? And Bo gives her the gun, gives Mazey the gun, puts it in her hand to point it at herself. And at this point, we're outside of the diner. We no longer see what's going on. They zoom out. And you see a flash, right? And I believe you hear a gunshot. And you're just like, that's messed up. And so basically, she wanted her to do the job so she could get that lifelong set money, okay, where you don't have to ever work again money. She got that job, right? And that's how it ends. The not funny part, but kind of ironic thing that happened at the end was Mazey Day wanted Bo to help her, right? Right. Just take me out of my misery. It's like she wanted someone to help her. And like, but did she really help the person that she hit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like weird karma. Like, okay, well, you drove off. You didn't get help, and you won't either. It's messed up. It's weird karma. And Bo, I guess at that point, no longer saw her as human. So it was, I guess, easier for her to like be inhumane to her, right? Because at first, it's funny how Bo starts off like, oh, like, after seeing something this dramatic, I should not do this. But it's like, I think she's conditioned. She's turned into the dickheads that she was judging in the beginning. And like, you'll do anything for $1. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people didn't like the whole werewolf take. They thought it was silly. They thought it was ridiculous. They're like, what? That's great. This is ridiculous. But I mean, I like someone took a take on it where they said they don't see them as humans. Like paparazzi don't see celebrities as humans. They just see them as a check, like money floating around. I agree. I mean, people didn't like the werewolf aspect, but what else should they have done for them to let y'all realize like you're not looking at them as human? I thought it was a good film. I enjoyed it. It kept you engaged. It kept you like wondering like what's going on, what's happening. The thing is, when they go back and show, she did step outside and look because she realized I hit someone. I gotta see if they're okay. what happens is she looks to see if the person was okay, but it was a wolf. The wolf looks at her and then like it probably attacks her and then she turns into one at midnight. But when to go back a little, like the next day after she like had hit that person, she took like a Uber driver, which my thing was, or whatever, a ride share. She takes a ride share, right? Bro, they're dry. I'm like, why didn't she do that at the beginning? But she learns her lesson almost, right? Because she could have just went right back outside driving, whatever. But she was like, let me take more precautions. And the cops are like, oh yeah, it's a man. Somebody hit and ran over a man or whatever. And it's like, I wonder who that was. So that's an interesting take. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of that episode. I thought it was dope. I like the actress who's in it, the main character. She's probably the reason why I clicked on it in the first place. It's I like the way they tell a story. They're trying to make a point in a creative way. And to me, I think they executed it. I like the different take. I don't want to know how it's going to end. I want you to like make me really twist and turn and think about what is going on. The reason she got so far was the information people were telling her willingly. Like the delivery driver, the guy at the diner, that's how she got along these ways. Like, and he didn't want no money either. People are just giving out this information. Like when it comes to celebrities, they look at them like, oh, in this film, but in reality too, the people look at celebrities like, oh, I don't. You have to look at them as human because they are human. Let's say one day one of you guys blow up. You're still human. You're still that same person. Yeah, you got more fame, more money, more success, whatever. But you're still human. And that's the same as the rest of everybody else, right? But you forget that because you see them so much and you feel like you know them already. And you're just like, oh, they're okay. They got money. You're just like, oh my God. So, it reminds me of Kesha. I remember meeting Kesha once. And this was a long time ago. She was at the rave in Milwaukee. And one of my homies at the time was like, "Hey, come with us, and you get a free ticket. You know, and you get to meet her." I'm like, "Oh, look, I don't." And it was just like I was so nervous, and it's like, why am I so nervous? I don't know this person. But seemed nice. She was smiling or whatever. But it was just like in this film, they take away that shock factor, that fan factor. You're a dollar sign, not like you're a human. It's just a good reminder for people to be like, celebrities are also human. And when you poke the bear, don't be upset when they attack back. She was stressed. She was going through it. She had to keep this dark secret to herself that she hit someone. I don't think she ever told anyone either. When all reality, she didn't kill anybody. The werewolf did, and she just got caught up in the mix. But she shouldn't have been driving. I don't actually, that part kind of confuses me because it's just like, who was that person before? Because I feel like that would give us a little bit more context of how it even evolved. But you guys tell me in the comments, what do you think happened? What is going on? Like this video if you enjoyed it. Share this video with other people, get their take on it. Let me know your take in the comments. I like Black Mirror. Let me know any other episodes you want me to review.